Good afternoon and Gung Hee Fa Chao, which in Chinese means Happy New Year. At least I hope it does if I pronounced it properly. Well, tomorrow sees the start of the Chinese New Year, when the Year of the Pig gives way to the Year of the Mouse, or Year of the Rat, depending on how you translate the Chinese word, because it could mean either. Well, always a time of great celebration for Chinese families, this year is extra special as it marks the start of a new full astrological cycle, and that's something that comes around only once every 60 years. Now, Liverpool's Chinatown is the oldest in the country, and this year, together with the City Council and Fringe 84, the Chinese community here are organising on Sunday a multicultural day-long festival. Guest of honour will be the Chinese ambassador, making a special 3-day visit to Merseyside. Well, on today's Exchange Flags, I'll be talking to two members of the Merseyside Chinese Youth Association, Marlon Chung and Yi Mei Sung, who've been organising the festivities, and we'll be giving you a special preview of some of the events and entertainment that you'll be able to see in the streets of Liverpool this Sunday, plus a special interview with one of Liverpool's most famous Chinese sons.
And what you're going to get this year, for example, in the Year of the Mouse in Liverpool, for the first time, this Chinese community has pulled itself up and is making an effort to suddenly say, well, it's 1984, we're in Liverpool, Liverpool is in England, Liverpool is in Europe, now we have to now accept that and become part of that.
David Yip, of course, with his New Year message. Well, more from him later in the programme. But first, let's welcome in the New Year in traditional fashion with the Lion Dance. That is absolutely fantastic. I think I would have known that they were very fit, even if I hadn't have seen on their T-shirts it says both in Chinese and in English, I think, that they are a member of a Kung Fu club.
It's the Hong Kong Kung Fu Club.
Yes, I think I might have guessed that. Tell me, what's the tradition behind that?
Actually, lion is always associated with Chinese New Year because it's supposed to bring you luck.
Oh!
Actually, if it's in Hong Kong or in Singapore, the lion is actually visit all the shops.
Yes.
Supposed to bring luck to all the shops,
Yes.
shopkeepers.
I think there's lots of superstitions around the New Year, aren't there, for bringing good luck and things?
Oh yes, if it's the day before New Year, you're not
Which
supposed to
it is
wash your
today.
hair. Yes, today. You're not supposed to wash your hair until New Year, a couple of days after New Year, which is a bit of a bind if you want to and you've forgotten to.
Yes.
Other things are, of course, giving out red packets to younger children if you're a married couple.
Yes.
Of course.
What's in these little red packets?
Money.
Money?
Yes, which is...
Oh, is that why it's called red pocket money?
Yes, probably.
Yeah.
There's lots of little red packets with writing on them. So you're very lucky. You can give them to all your younger children.
And isn't there something about not wearing black?
Yeah, you're not supposed to wear black or white on the day.
Yes.
You should wear some bright color stuff. Yeah, red is the traditional color for lucky.
Yeah.
And also you're not supposed to clean your house on the New Year day because that means you clean all your luck away.
Oh!
Make sure you do all that beforehand.
Yes, yes. Why is it that the Year of the Mouse or the Year of the Rat, which is correct, by the way?
Actually, the Chinese character can mean both either rat or mouse, even mice.
Well, mouse is nicer,
Mouse
really,
is
isn't
nice.
it? Yes.
Yeah.
Why is it that this year is so significant this time?
It's because this year is the beginning of this 60-year circle or cycle, and also it's a very special year in Liverpool, and it's also the first time for us, the Liverpool Chinese community, to invite other groups to involve to celebrate Chinese New Year. Plus, the city council actually take part in it, and we have great help from the police. So actually, it's a Merseyside event.
And are you hoping that it's going to become sort of internationally known and,
That's
and
right,
really
that's right.
attract a lot of people
well,
to
we've
it?
had lots of multicultural groups joining in as well, so we think it's going to be, you know, of interest to everyone, apart from just the Chinese community.
Why are you so keen to do this? Because I'm sure it must be very important for you. Both of you were born in Hong Kong, weren't you?
Just about. On my side.
Why? How old were you when you
I
came?
came over when I was 1.
Ah, so you don't remember much
Not
about
too
Hong
much,
Kong.
no.
How old were you?
I came over when I was 15, so I knew a little bit.
But don't you feel that it's important for you, even though you're not living in Hong Kong, to retain your culture and your tradition very strongly?
Yeah, I think it's very important really, because the Chinese culture is a vast, and there's a lot of good tradition we should keep. And also, I think it's also important to introduce this sort of culture to the area or the place that we live, like in Liverpool. We
Yes.
like to let the Merseyside in to join in and enjoy what we got.
I think there's always been a great interest in Chinese and Chinese culture anyway in
Yes.
Liverpool, even though we haven't had a really big, well-organised Chinese celebration before. We've always had lots of people interested, I mean, food-wise and clothes-wise.
Oh, well, I mean, the food is
Oh,
so
exactly.
wonderful here. It's the best
Yeah.
in Britain, I reckon.
So, you know, it's... and also I think Chinese people are a very closed-knit sort of society, and they tend to keep their culture or their, you know, their little legends, they sort of pass it down. I think it's just nice to keep it going.
So, in other words, it's almost twofold, is it? You're trying to help the young people to keep
right.
their own culture alive, but are you in any way trying to help the older people, the people who've been here longer, to integrate
Oh, yes,
with the
I mean,
community?
It would help, yeah.
How do you do this particularly?
Very difficult, great difficulty.
Actually, what we're trying to do is to let both the young and the old people involve in, like this one, the festivities. Because in this particular Chinese New Year celebration, we got the young people involved in making different things, and the old people contribute into idea how you should do this and keep into a sort of guideline, which is very important.
I think there's a lot of Chinese kids who don't really have an idea of how much legend there is, you know.
Because they can't remember
Yes,
it.
that's right.
I mean, can you actually... No, of course you can't remember
well,
New
not an
Year
awful lot,
in
only
Hong
through,
Kong.
through what my parents tell me, you
Yes.
know. And I think when you live in England for so long, you know, you tend to lose that sort of touch unless you have things like Chinese New Year celebration.
Yeah, I think this might be a good point to talk to our dragon, don't you?
Yeah.
Yes.
Our special
Who, I
guest.
think we've got Mr. Ing in charge of our dragon. Mr. Ing, this is not a proper Chinese dragon, is it? Isn't it a Mersey dragon?
But the lady, she did different kind of style for the dragon.
Yes.
See, some short one, like a monster.
Yes.
Some long one. See that depend the artist when they want you to do so.
Well, our studio was not built for a dragon. If you'd brought the whole one in, we wouldn't have been able to get him in.
Oh, I did for the whole one, make it very long.
Yes.
And they're stronger. But this dragon, they can move out one part by one part and they go long. All the like it there that to play.
Yes.
That's why they all are part different. One piece there, but they join together. You can't do what you want.
And who is it who's helped you all to make it? It's the Liverpool Liverpool Music Youth Association?
Yeah, but I make the hair.
You make the head?
I make the hair and the tail.
Yes.
But I say that body, I say too much job for me. By myself to do it.
Yes.
He say, oh, somebody help. I say, that lady here,
Yes.
down there, they help them. You know, all the young men people, you know,
Yes.
to get out.
Yeah.
But I only sometimes I come down there, see how they go on.
Yes.
You know, can't join them or not. I don't want you to say, oh, you can't finish that.
So
I think
otherwise,
also-
if they hadn't have helped you, you'd have just had a head and a tail and
Yeah,
nothing in
yeah.
between. What is this behind you? There's a
That's
special-
one.
Yes. what
That's
is
one
that?
lady for the one man they get their faulty hair on.
Yes.
The big hair like that.
Yeah.
When the dragon come out, they follow this ball.
Yes.
That's the ball supposed to the pair belong them.
Oh, I see.
You see, when they move and light that way, they will follow that way.
Yes.
Go that way, they follow that way. And another things about the, you know, the people play the kung fu.
Yes.
They get a very good idea for them to play anyway. You see, they go lounging on the street anyway like this.
What is the tradition? Do you know the tradition of the dragon? Or maybe I should ask Marlon that. Do you know the tradition of the dragon?
Tradition of the
Thank
dragon
you, Mr.
is,
Ing.
Yeah.
dragon is a symbol of wealth, luck, and
Wealth?
power. Wealth, luck, and power.
Power.
And you know, in the old Chinese emperor, they
They like to use it as a
symbol of themselves. They are the dragon themselves. It's king of everything.
That's great. So it mixes well with the whole Mersey thing, because I think Liverpudlians feel themselves to be a bit of kings individually, don't they? Tell me one more thing. Why is it that the New Year is so important in the Chinese calendar? Because it is, isn't it?
Actually, it's a little story on that. In a long, long time ago, was set a monster called Lin, which happened to be a Chinese way of saying year, Lin. This monster come out once a year, and threaten the children and do damage to the community. And the community brought out a lion to chase it away.
A real one?
A real one.
Yes.
And chase it away. So since then, every year they're doing this lion. That's why the lion dance come into it as well.
Yes.
To trace this lin, which is the monster, away. And after that, this monster never come back.
Oh, I see.
And that's how it started it.
So why is there a tradition also in China for people to have the names of animals for the years?
It was said Buddha summoned the 12 animals, and they named the year in the sequence of the animals arrive in front of him. Although it's only 12, but actually it repeats itself 5 times to make it 60 years.
Every 60 years?
Every
So there won't be
60
another one this century?
No,
Well,
I'm afraid
it's
not.
well worth celebrating. Thank you very much indeed. Now, amongst the many attractions over the New Year period will be a display by the Hua Sing Girls Dance Group, who came into our studios earlier to perform the traditional Dance of the Fans.